out here, and I'm going to custom live stream and broadcast. And I'll tell you right now, we're wired. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jim Grant. Welcome to the Messages of Inspiration, Hope, and Support. We've got a treat for you today. We've got a gentleman by the name of Alan Willett that's joined us. We may have another lady join us if her schedule works out. She's trying to get with us. But if not, we're going to roll on. But first of all, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I want to ask you to do a favor. Let me show you what I mean before I ask you. With all of the messages of inspiration, hope, and support, all of the other wonderful speakers that we've had, you will find them at Speakers Pathway Coalition, right here at speakerspathway.com. That's the home website. Now, all of the messages of inspiration, hope, and support speakers, each one of their individual presentations are there. Sherry Nguyen, I'm going to show you hers in a moment. She's a two-time Olympian. She is a national basketball coach, a fantastic lady. And if you scroll down Speakers Pathway Coalition, let me tell you a little bit about who we're going to do, what we do. We're going to be upgrading our website. We need to. This here's the Wild Bunch. That's me and Don on top, and Bill Heinrich, and Tamara Sue, Hunter I call her, and that's Mr. Dustin Matthews. This is Mr. Koji Samaldi. This is Sony Jackson and Mr. Preston Martelli. And this is some of the testimonies of people that we're affiliated with. I'm also the host of the radio show, Your Future Is Now. But let's get back up in here to the nuts and bolts. And remember, I asked you for a favor. If you click on See More right there, each one of the presentations are there. And as you scroll down, you'll see many different speakers, many different topics. You can see we got pages and pages and pages and pages and pages of them. And as I mentioned earlier, I'm going to click on Sherry Nguyen. Whenever you click on one of this was her first episode, episode 8. She's been on there with us before. Sherry Nguyen, The Pathway to a New Normal Acceptance. You can read a little bit about her, but most importantly, you can play the individual message there from that particular speaker. And if you go back, you can see we got a bunch of speakers here. Say thank you for your message. And you might see someone else, or you might know someone else that could really benefit from that speaker's message. I don't know why my internet's loading slow, but I apologize for that. But trust me, there's all these wonderful people here. Dr. Karen Perkins, I've known her for many years. She's a fantastic lady. We've had her on a radio show, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful person to be associated with and to know. And I mentioned about the Speakers Pathway Coalition is also the home of the new 6-minute webinar. You can click on 6minutewebinar.com, and this is our homepage here. You can read about how you can present your own product, your own service, whatever you have in 6 minutes with a call to action. That's powerful, because think about it. If you click on some webinar and you're interested in a product or something, you don't want to sit there for no 10 or 15 minutes while the person's going on and on and on about the problem. You understand the problem, otherwise you wouldn't be there, right? So this is designed for that, for 6 minutes, how you solve a problem and all that. In addition to that, we also have an affiliate program for someone that may know someone that's interested in this. We have a lot of requests for affiliates. Just go to 6minutewebinar.com / the word main, MAIN -affiliate. And you will be able to, let's see if we can do that right now. I think we've got time. I think Alan will be kind enough to bear with me here a little bit. Let's see if this works. MAIN -. If I spelt that correctly and everything is right. Boom, chicky, boom. How about that? I'm cooking with oil today, ladies and gentlemen. But if you click on this here, and we'll share everything about the how to get your own personal affiliate link. And there's nothing to buy or anything like that. That's just a nicety to know. Also, too, this coming Friday on our radio show, we've got a gentleman by the name of Marty Haggard. He's going to be playing 4 different songs. We're going to be playing 4 of his dad's songs, Merle Haggard, but also too, it's going to be he does now a tribute for his dad, and when he puts on presentations and things like that. You go to martyhaggard.com, check out his schedule. If you like Merle Haggard's music, and a lot of people do, and I'm one of them, you're in for a treat when you meet Marty. That's the best way I can describe it, because he's the oldest son of Merle Haggard. He grew up around his dad, and he's sang in his dad's band. Even when he was a little boy growing up, he was standing back there behind the scenes singing with his dad. So it'd be on Your Future Is Now. And people have asked me, says, how do we find that? And I said, well, just go to this website right here, toginet.com. Your Futures. I mean, if you aren't, one of our shows is always on the front cover here. So you just click on Your Future Is Now. And that's me there. And of course, all of our episodes are right here. You can read up about us if you like. And you can just say we got tons and tons and tons of information there. And I don't want to go into all the details of it, but, to bore you. But I just want to share you where you'll be able to find his presentation here, because Marty is just a fantastic individual. And he really loves doing music dedicated to his father. And we really love presenting the messages of inspiration, hope, and support, because in this day and time, this is why this particular webinar series was even born. And I'm going to ask, I need to cut on Alan's video there and ask him to cut on it. Hey, how you doing, Alan?
I'm doing terrific. Good to see you, Jim.
Thank you so much. Let me cancel the spotlight video so people can see you there. And we're so grateful that you've joined us today. You're going to be talking to us about speed is fueled by the mindset. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
And ladies and gentlemen, before we got started, he was sharing with me, Don McGrath and I, we founded Speakers Pathway Coalition. And Alan says, hey, I know Don from way back. Would you share with people how you know Dandy Don?
Dandy Don and I ran track and cross country at Rochester Institute of Technology. I considered running as our main job, and the school stuff was our hobby.
I understand that. That's dedication, because it's I've heard Don talk about that particular time in his life, and with fond memories. And ladies and gentlemen, we've talked enough, at least I have. Let me invite Alan to the center stage and let him share his message of inspiration, hope, and support. And please share his message with others. And Alan, thank you so much for being with us. I'm going to give you the spotlight, sir, and I'm going to shut off my video and my mic, and the stage is yours.
Glad to be here. Speed is the mindset for the mindset that fuels speed is an amazing feature. Let me tell you a story. The team I was brought in to talk to was completely downcast. It was like their whole attitude, their presence was being dragged across the floor and into the mud. So I had to ask them, why so low? Why the long face? And it was their executives were pushing them for more speed, more productivity, more everything. And they didn't know how. Talked to the executives, and the executives had a really good reason. They were used to be number one in the marketplace, but that was eroding quickly as the competitors were able to put out more features more quickly than they could. What was the problem? Well, we did a lot of things, and we actually got this team to be 10 times faster than they were before, which is amazing. And there was a lot of things we did, but one of the main things that we changed throughout the organization, executives down to individual people, was their mindset. So I'm going to tell you 4 things today that they changed in their mindset and how it made a big difference. Number 1, mindset is to have a relentless focus on value. Here's what I mean. One of the examples was they said, well, we have this one meeting that's really horrible. I'm like, why are you starting with meetings? People know how to run meetings. They said, yeah, maybe we don't because this meeting is horrible. So I did a survey of that meeting and various other ones. And I did a survey based on a -5 to +5 for value to the company and to yourself, and -5 to +5 from soul sucking to energizing. That one meeting they talked about, which was 20 people, that took 2 hours per person to prepare for, 2 hours to be in the meeting, almost over 100 hours per week, was rated -5 for value, -5 for soul sucking. Even the person that was running the meeting, the person that scheduled the meeting, thought it was a horrible waste of time. What we found out is they inherited it. They never looked at it. We immediately canceled it, gained 100 hours. We looked at all their other things going on too. This mindset was become pervasive. They looked at the projects they had running. They killed some because they were lower value compared to the high value ones that were in trouble. They reassigned people to put them on there. They looked at the feature sets they were developing and focused more on the high value features. They gained so much speed. Number 2 is they learned how to tame the dragons of risk. Here's what I mean. Fear is a mind killer, but ignoring fear is a project killer. And what they have been doing is just ignoring the big risks. And all projects that have great value have great risks. It's like in the Bilbo Baggins adventure in The Hobbit. A really dangerous journey, and at the end, the gold was protected by a dragon. And that's what happens with big projects. The gold is protected by dragons. So what I coached them to do was become tamers of dragons. The dragons will be there, but what you need to do is name them. Name them by specific names, who owns that risk, what the risk is, what the impact is, and work through how to mitigate those risks and be ready for them to bite you. So example was, they had a lot of dependencies on other projects, other people delivering things to them. I asked them what the most critical one was, and they named an organization. I said, be more specific. They named a team. And I said, name the name. Who's responsible for that? And they named the name. I said, are you working with that person? They looked at me blankly. They said, oh, we get it. They started to actually have dialogues with the people that they were bringing things in from. They tamed that dragon. They mitigated it. They got people to deliver them what they needed when they needed to with high quality. You need to do that to go after these big projects. But guess what? Any big project that has great value with these risks, there's going to be failure. Mindset number 3 is to treat failure as an opportunity to go faster, create speed from failure. So what we did there was, when the big disasters hit, we gathered people around and we had a little wine fest first, because failure hurts. You got to recognize it, gather the people, celebrate the pain, and transform the pain into speed. So what you need to do is focus on what the value you're trying to do, what dragons actually bit you, and then figure out what worked well, what didn't work well, and scale that to the rest of the project. One of the high-tech projects I was working on was based in California, and their problem was they did all their testing, all their writing in California in that time zone. As soon as they expanded products into other time zones, they got bit because some junior developer had hard-coded to the West Coast time zone. So they got all sorts of weird results. When they went through the failure thing, because the customers were mad, they discovered that, one, what the problem was and fix it across the product, but they also realized that they had a very California-centric mindset, and they needed to send people out to learn about the other parts of the project. So they took that failure and they actually transformed it into an event that made them think differently about their whole product base, their whole customer base, and got people out there into the world to learn what was going on in the other parts of the customers, other things, and developed a lot more ideas for value and ideas that they could kill, so they could focus mostly on what would bring most value to that customer set. They got enormously more speed. So 1, relentless focus on value. 2, tame the dragons of risk. 3, create speed from failure. 4, own the game clock. A leader that's faced with situations like I talked about can react in one of a couple ways. For example, the time clock one, I've seen people react by just reacting, by doing more pressure, more overtime, more running around without purpose. There's lots of sweat, lots of action, but there's no results. Going faster doesn't mean more sweat. It means more control. If you watch the pros in basketball way back when Larry Bird played or today when LeBron plays, you're going to see them in basketball. The pros, the best, have control over the game. They look at the game at a different rate as everybody else. Same with high pressure, great leaders. They don't panic. They have control over the situation and control over themselves. They have great inner calm. They own their days. They own their weeks. They own their meetings. They own their own process for creating great value. Number 5, and the final one I'm going to do, is be the leadership force. And that's a different mindset, which is scaling up. This was mostly for the executives, but when they started to master these things, what they realized is in physics, force equals mass times acceleration. What they have learned to do is how to accelerate individual projects through these mindsets and a lot of the techniques. But to get greater leadership force, they need to create other leaders that shared those. So they worked on making programs to really ingrain that kind of mindset into everybody and how to execute it. And that way, when the leaders had so many people in the organization understand that, everybody was working at how to accelerate. And that was how they became a leadership force. 2 things. One is you can reach me at alanwillett.com or at my email, alan@oxseeker.net. On the website, by the way, you'll find some free stuff. I got a couple of free ebooks. You can get a shirt like this one. And so contact me. Happy to do so. My closing note, 2 things. I really encourage people to do good in the world and lead with wonder, fun, and joy. Those that you lead will be greatly happy to follow you. Thank you very much. I'm Alan Willett.
Wow, Alan, thank you so very much for that wonderful presentation. And you know, it's really it's really interesting the way that you present everything, because it's so, what I loved about your presentation was very down to earth. You talked in very simple, straightforward, uncomplicated terms, things that's understandable. People can bite into it. People can relate to it. And you're right, because a lot of people think leader is kind of like, hey, follow me, okay, we're gone. But really, leadership is to get people to believe in the same things you do and
Yes.
to be able to buy into what you do, because in the military, I spent 31 years in the military. In the military, if you're in a hostile area and if the leader goes down, it's already cut and dried that someone else is going to, become the leader, and they're going to, because they've been trained and they know and they believe in the mission. And Alan, that's very important, isn't it, sir?
Absolutely. It's amazing. A lot of the high-tech companies kind of don't believe in the military kind of rule, but they do so well at training their leaders. I've worked with a lot of Navy folks and Army folks, etc., and the leadership training is amazing because they can do that. So I really work with my clients to replicate that kind of experience, so they do create this leadership force. So, and by the way, it's a lot easier for everybody. If you understand these mindset and share these principles and the techniques to execute on them, everything runs better. It's so much less drama and so much more value.
Absolutely. And another thing too, I'd like to give a plug for the military. One of the things the military does extremely, extremely well, and the world today really needs to hear this. Excuse me. Alan, if we're in the military and we're told to go see Sergeant Wells, we're going to go to see someone by the name of Sergeant Wells. We don't know if Sergeant Wells is male, female, black, or white. Doesn't matter, because Sergeant Wells is a properly, professionally trained person that can help us accomplish what we need to accomplish. And that's that's the key that excuse me, that's the key. It's very, very important because we need to focus on the caliber of the individual, the character of the individual. And that's what creates a wonderful team. You know, it's kind of like you know, when you give someone the if you got a running back on your team, you don't care how big he is or how good looking he is or what the race is. I mean, can he run? If he's a good runner and can run around people and outrun people, hey, we're gonna give him the ball, right?
Absolutely.
That's what teamwork's all about. And you know, with all the and I share this, ladies and gentlemen, with all of the negative things going on in the world today, the messages of inspiration, hope, and support is so valuable to everyone. And that's why I encourage you to go to speakerspathway.com, click on the messages of inspiration, of hope, and support. You've seen it. We've got a dozen or more pages there of the individual presentations. Please, and I mean please, you know, look at those different individual speakers, find one that resonates with you or two or three, listen to their message, get in touch with that speaker and say, thank you for your presentation. I really enjoyed it. If you really want to excite them, say, hey, I shared your presentation with one of my friends because I knew they needed to hear your message. And I'm very blessed, Alan, because I sit in this seat. Of course, I'm the co-founder of Speakers Pathway Coalition. I'm the co-founder of 6-Minute Webinar, and I'm the host of this webinar here, the Message of Inspiration, Hope, and Support. Got so many titles, can't remember them all. I'm also the host of Your Future Is Now. But I'm really blessed because I get to sit here and listen to all you wonderful folks, because it's, you know, because all of us, just like we need fresh air in our lungs every day, right? We need a fresh shot of something that's positive. We need a fresh shot of something that, you know, that with all the negatives to knock off all that junk so it doesn't corrode our strength and our minds. And I love the way you talk about the mind and everything, because that's extremely important, isn't it?
It is. Mindset really does actually, you know, they've done studies that shows a change in mindset actually changes the brain. But it all more than that, it changes your day-to-day presence and even the way you think about yourself. All are very important.
It really is. It's, what does Zig Ziglar say, and others have said, that your attitude will determine your altitude?
That sounds like Zig. I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, yeah, he said that many times. And Zig, I always loved his country boy ways of the way he presented everything. And he'd say, you can get anything out of life that you want as long as you help other good people get what they want. And that's true, because that's actually a principle.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
you know, yeah, because I think it's in Proverbs 11:25, it talks about the generous person, well, by watering others, will be watered themselves. And notice the prerequisite in that. You've got to water somebody else first if you want to be watered. So if you want to receive blessings in your life, look how you can bless others first. That's a prerequisite. And Alan, I know your time, I know you got other things you got to do. And I want to thank you for being here with us, because you're so, you know, you gave a great presentation. If you can hang around to the end, we'd love to have you. But if your schedule allows you, let me put it like that, because I know you're pressed on time. But I want to personally thank you. And, you know, for being with us today. And also thank you for, you know, sharing the information about you and Don McGrath, the co-founder of Speakers Pathway Coalition, my buddy. You guys were track team stars, and Don talks a lot about this. He's got a t-shirt from that time. Did you know that?
I'm not surprised. I have t-shirts still from that time too. I still have my jacket.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got to compare notes, because you know, you get a picture made of that, because I can't remember the team and all that, but it was the story behind it's very, very interesting. You got that, because that's an inspirational story you need to share. It really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have lots of stories. We'll keep sharing.
Yeah, you bet. Well, listen, thank you again. I've got to bring Denzel to the stage here, and Alan, thank you again. It's a pleasure for you to be here, and we're just so glad that you're here. And let me give a message here to Denzel to cut his. I got to do all this geek stuff behind the scenes there, all this techie stuff.
Yeah, I'll watch you do the gig stuff. Hey,
Denzel. Okay, good deal. Good deal. Hey, Denzel, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. Trying to set this up. How are you?
Doing fine. We're having a ball here. Um, you
I'm
know,
going to stick
just
with you, Denzel, by the way.
Sorry?
I'm going to stick with you. I'm watching you.
All right, no problem.
oh, good. The more the merrier, right, Denzel?
Of course.
I hear you. Let me give you the spotlight there so we can, there you go. And we'll be up above and we'll cut off the videos here in just a moment. But would you be kind enough to share with people, what your the topic is and what you're going to be sharing with us today, sir?
All right. So my name is Denzel Cabasele, and my topics today is there is a meaning in every battle in life.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so that you want me to get started?
Well, let me go ahead and cut off my video and mute my
Okay.
mic because we want to give you a chance to get a clean presentation of your presentation
Yep.
without me being in there and running my mouth. So let me cut off my camera and mute my mic. And Denzel, the stage is yours.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And as I was saying, my name is Denzel Cabasele, and you can probably hear an accent when I'm speaking. I'm from the Congo, DRC. It's in the Central Africa, and right now I'm currently living in Lancaster, PA, Lancaster, Pennsylvania. And the reason why I'm here talking to you guys today is because I've been through a lot in my life, and I'm very grateful that I was able to find a way out of them all the time. Well, it may not seem like I'm somebody that have been through a lot because I'm only 19 years old. And but wait, don't log off yet or don't stop the video because I just said it. But because what you're about to hear from me today, a lot of you guys may not have heard it before from anybody else, or maybe from a 19 years old. As I was saying, my topic today is there is a meaning in every battle in life. I came in America 3 years ago. I left my whole family back in Africa. I had to come here by myself, and it's a decision that I've made. And it's been hard since then. I really had a lot of struggles. I really had to kind of grow fast as a 16 years old. I had to mentally grow faster than the other 16 years old. So I had to, and I knew it. I mean, I didn't try to grow it that fast, but I didn't have a choice but to become mature. I had to learn English by myself. I couldn't speak English. I was speaking. I'm a French speaker and also speak Lingala, which is a native language in Congo. So I had to learn English by myself because the school I went to did not have an English program. They didn't have an ESL program. That's how it's called. So, and I was doing that by watching movies, reading, and trying to force myself to talk to other people. It was hard, but I was very fortunate that I was able to do it in a fast period of time. And then during that time, I was living with a family that didn't look like they want. Like when I got here, I was living with a family that didn't look like they wanted me to be there. And I really spent like hard times with that family to a point where they didn't want to cook for me anymore. And I didn't know what to do. I couldn't work. I didn't have my papers yet, so I couldn't work. And so I had to figure out a way I was going to eat. I was going to school and come back and didn't have food. So I decided to talk to a teacher, Mrs. Wise, back to my school, and she talked to other teachers. And there was a book room that they had, and then they would start like coming every morning. When they come, they would bring food there, leave the food there in the fridge for me, and I could eat during lunch, and sometimes bring food at home. And I will forever be grateful for the teachers. And that's basically how I spent my high school, and they were basically feeding me at school. And around the lesson that I got from that kind of struggle that I went to was back when I was with my family back in Congo. I used to think that I was the man, so I didn't really treat people well or as they deserved to be treated. Um, and in my turn now, I was treated like crap, and it taught me a lot. It taught me how to talk to people, how to be able to have conversation with people in a different level, people that may not understand what you want to do or what you want to accomplish, and that just different than you. And there's another reason why I'm in the US is because I also wanted to play. I play basketball, and I wanted to play basketball in college. And my goal, and I had to be really good to go to college to play. Obviously, to play college, you had to be really good. And freshman year, I was getting better. Sophomore year, I was getting better until we got to junior year. During a basketball game, I literally broke my leg, my tibia bone in half during a basketball as I was going for a layup. And it was terrible. I didn't know what to do at this point, and like it's really something that I wanted to do. But the next year, I was playing with like screws and like rod inside my bone because I didn't have any choice, and I really wanted to play. And the worst thing about this story is that I was warned before it happened. I had a friend that I don't really talk to that told me that an injury was gonna happen to me, something bad was gonna happen to me. And the doctor warned me before too that we should rest and stop playing. And obviously I didn't hear them. And after that happened, I really started to learn how to listen to people, and not only listen to people, but also listen to myself, to the voice inside of me, which is very important. And sometimes we are too distracted by the noise outside, and we forget to listen to the voice inside of us. And 5 years prior to that, the whole story that I just gave, when I was back in Congo, my whole family, my parents and I were kicked out of the house. Um, it was by a group of like government authorities that sent military agents to take every single things that are in the house, every single items that we had, and put it in the street. They threw it away. And I remember coming back from school that day, and I was sitting on a rock. I was just looking at my mom crying, and that really hurted me because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do anything. I was just there looking at her crying, and like all of our stuff, I could see my bed and my video games on the floor in the streets in front of everybody. And I hated that time, because I couldn't do anything. And I decided, since then, I found my motivation. I decided that I would never look at my mom this way again. And I wanted to start working hard in everything I do so that I can become effective for my family and for my life and for everybody around me. Now, some of you probably listening to these stories and like I have a tear in the eye, or probably saying that you've been through a lot of things, and like he's probably misses his family. And you're right. Yes, I do miss my mama, and I've been through a lot of things, way more than way more than I just told you now. But I would be lying to you guys if I tell you that the reason why I overcame all the struggles is because I was strong. I was a strong boy, or because I knew a couple like rich people or anything like that. I would be lying. The only reason, and like if it wasn't for God, working by my side and fighting my battles for me, I would have never made it. Never. And I really want you guys to know that. And since the day I met him, he introduced me to something that I didn't even know that I had in me. And that was hope. Since I met him, I have hope. And it's something that can never be taken, that will never be taken away from me. And it's that hope, that like the hope that no matter what, no matter how hard things are, it will give me joy. It doesn't matter what I'm going through. I have joy, and it's coming from him and no one else. That hope that allows me to keep on smiling even when I go in a room where everybody's sad and anxious. I am I'm gonna have I'm gonna leave you guys with a question and an advice before I end this. And my question is, for me, is Jesus. But who or what is your hope when you're in time of troubles? And it's a question we really have to ask ourselves. And the advice I would say is, don't run away from adversity. Instead, figure out a way to get something positive out of it. And you can get this advice straight from my story and everything that I've been through. And I've never needed anything that I didn't have, because God always provided what I needed. And that's why I've been living by. So thank you so much, guys, for listening to me. I really appreciate it. And I have a YouTube channel where you can watch more of my videos, and you just have to write Denzel Cabasele, and I could write it down when I'm done speaking. But yeah, thank you.
Wow, Denzel. Wow, what an inspiring story. I mean, my goodness gracious. Let me unmute. And did you get a request to start your video there, Ellen? You're with us? Mhm. I tell you right now, Denzel, your story just really rocked. Number one, welcome to America, my friend. Number two, at the age of 19, you are light years ahead of a lot of 19-year-olds who were born and raised in this country that do not appreciate what this country offers. And I'm going to tell you something, young man. You have $1 million book in you. And I'm going to share something else with you. Alan knows the gentleman I'm going to be talking about, Dandy Don McGrath, my partner. Don jokes and he says, I've written 6 books. 4 of them are good. 4 of them are bestsellers. But I mean, Don is the kind of person that would be glad to give you free advice, as in free advice in how to write your story, because you've got a tremendous story within you. I really admire your honesty. I really admire your integrity, because young man, you're going to be you got an awesome life ahead of you. And it's because you're willing to give, you're willing to share, and don't let anyone put a choke chain on you. Okay? Keep your mind on the things you want, off the things you don't want. And Alan, I know you were super impressed, and I know you've got some things you'd love to share with them. So, sir, please take the mic and go.
Oh, I love your energy. Really, you took adversity and turned it around and are keeping going. What's the record hung on the wall behind you?
Oh, there's like a couple, and I'm actually coming back from my graduation like a couple minutes ago, and
Yeah.
this is from entrepreneurial leadership that I had, and those are like some for like basketball and basketball and track, like district championship and stuff like that.
Awesome. I'm a track guy too, but I was steeplechase. So
Yeah.
And what's next, Denzel?
Well, I'm going to a prep school, and it's mostly for sports, and then I would go to college. Probably I got accepted to Saint Joseph in Philadelphia, so I'm probably gonna go there after prep school. Yeah.
Yeah. No, really a deep pleasure to meet you. I'm excited for your future.
Yeah.
And
Thank you so much.
yeah.
Absolutely, because your story is what America's all about, how you can come here and be able to, accomplish your goals and your dreams. And I'll be honest, I am personally embarrassed about all the muck and the mire and the trash going on that we see on the TV. But trust me on this, that is the small percentage. Most Americans, we love this country. We love the Constitution. We love our freedoms. And most importantly, we love to hear stories of a young man like you coming here and being able to accomplish what it is that you want to accomplish. And you sacrifice a lot because your family is still back there. But most importantly, you're making your family proud. That is incredible. That is incredible. It took me a long time to learn. I should be making my family proud, but I finally got there. It took a while. I was kind of slow between the ears there, Alan,
Yeah.
Wait,
But
it takes time for some of us.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Denzel's off, starting blacks rather quickly, so
I didn't have a choice.
that's right.
But one of the things that really helped you was that you had to face something alone. And at age 16, my goodness gracious, you made you made a commitment to yourself. You had to face a lot of adversity at a very young age. Most 16-year-olds, including me when I was 16, I was not set up for that. I would not be prepared with the mental toughness that it would take to do that. And ladies and gentlemen, we got a few minutes left, but I'm going to again, if I can, share my stage here and share my screen, I should say, because I want to show you where the messages of inspiration and hope is one more time, because you hear stories of what, like Alan shared with us, and then Denzel, oh my goodness. This is just, the tip of the iceberg of what's in store there, because I know a lot of these speakers. I've had the privilege of interviewing them. And let me share my screen again so I can show you where you can go and find the messages of inspiration, hope, and support. You go to speakerspathway.com. That's the home page right there. And just scroll down a little bit. These are 3 of our speakers we have there. But when you click on see more, wow, we got pages and pages and pages of them. And these 2 young ladies have been on twice on the presentation. Donna Jeanwa, she's been on, and she's also been on our radio show. Coach Sherry Nguyen. The list just goes on and on and on. 2-time Olympian. She's also a national basketball coach. A tremendous lady. We've had several of these on, but you just see pages and pages and pages and pages that we have down here. My point being is go there, and most importantly, take a look at the individual presentations and share their messages with someone else. Because how many people would love to share, Denzel's message with some of the young folks today who are, mentally got their clutch slipping up here, shall I say. They're not really, they're not ignorant or undereducated. They're just, they need some direction. And Alan, I tell you right now, I know you can agree with that, brother. And it's really because you talked a lot about mindset, didn't you?
Indeed, I did. So,
and that's very important. It really is, to get your mind locked in. And Denzel, is there anything else you'd like to share with us before we bring the webinar to a close?
Yes. And I would like your advice maybe on it. And it's something that I didn't talk about as I was speaking. So it's also based on my experience when I came here in America. So it was actually a little bit easier for me because I came and I had some kind of talent to play basketball, right? So some people wanted to be around me. But as I came here, I came to meet other African kids that just came here, and some of them did not have this kind of talent. And I promise you that I've seen most African being overlooked, disrespected, and just because they couldn't communicate. And that really hurt me. And I wanted to make an impact in my community around here and make something bigger. And I'm actually working on a non-profit organization, and that I really want to start now. I'm working on a business plan. And it's all about helping these immigrants and refugees that come into to start into the city where I'm at, and just bring everything that they miss from home, and also bring an atmosphere where they can share the story, and they can make friends, create relationship where they know that they have friends, or they have relationship that people don't understand where they came from, and they're not alone when they're being overlooked or disrespected on the other side. And with that, have like some different programs like ESL tutoring, because I didn't have that when I came here, and other programs that I'm thinking of and working on. And just like, I want you guys to tell me maybe what you think and like how I should go about it, or if you have any kind of advice for that.
Absolutely.
Okay. And you go ahead and go first, because you probably say something more intelligent than I can, but go ahead, brother.
Okay, I'll go first. Hey, three things. First, just really, that's a brilliant thing. Just a reminder, I've worked with some nonprofits, and sometimes they forget that even nonprofits have to make a profit. So in your business plan, of course, the people coming won't be the ones paying you. You're going to make sure your business plan has good sponsors in it. Two, it gets back to the mindset thing, and which is the very first thing I said, is really focus on the value. And there's two major values I see here that you're focused on. One is helping people to enter and immigrate and have the skills, etc. But the second value I like to focus on is the great good you're going to be doing for the people in that area, this country, this organization. Because truly, the more diversity of thinking we have, the more diversity of skill sets, the better ideas we have, the better we can actually do good in the world. So I would like you to make sure that's a really big part of the focus, is what good in the world this will do, not just for the individuals, but for the people that will hire them and bring them in, etc. Because that'll really help all of us. That's all I had, Denzel.
All right, thank you.
Okay, while he was doing that, I was doing a little looking up here, and there's a couple of things I want to share with you. Do you have a pen and paper there, Denzel?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
You're old school, Jim.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I tell people I have to kickstart my laptop in the morning to get it going. Okay, there is a free ebook. It's put on by Mr. Bill Heinrich. I'll show you these people here. The ebook is called Clarity, Clarity, Has No Story. You can get that for free. Just go to my, three words, my, M-Y, free, F-R-E-E, book, B-O-O-K, .M-E. M is in Mike, E is in Echo.
All right.
Okay, now let me show you these people. There's two people I want to show you, and I got to share my screen to do that. So that's what I wanted Alan to go first there. And let's see here. Okay, this is the homepage of speakerspathway.com. You see that there, Denzel, speakerspathway.com? Okay, you go there and go down here, and you can click on any of this lady right here, the gentleman I told you about the book, Clarity Has No Story, that's Mr. Bill Heinrich. That's him right there. He's one of our executive training directors. And this lady here is Tamra Hunter. Heinrich is spelled H-E-I-N-R-I-C-H. And let me go over here and type in his website. True Life, P-U-R-P-U-S-C. Now, there we go. TrueLifePurpose.com. We can get to come up there. There we go. This is Bill's individual, or not his individual, his webpage. And you can see that Bill's right there. You know, he's the Divine Purpose guy. He's also the co-host with me on the radio show, Your Future Is Now. But Bill would be glad to give you a free counseling, 30-minute counseling, because that's the kind of person he is. And I can't remember off the top of my head, Tamra's website, Tamra L. Hunter, she has Chemo Buddies for Life, Chemo Buddies, the number 4, life.org. And let's see if we click on that, because they're going to be changing that. You can click on her picture, you can read about her and all that. And she's got her website there, chemobuddiesforlife.org. And you get in touch with her because she's real good and she can give you good, solid advice on organizing and creating a nonprofit. Okay. So that's what I wanted to share with you there. And this has really been an inspiring type of webinar for me to be able to host this and to be able to, be here. This is why I do what I do, because I love doing what I'm doing. And I was teasing Alan before we got started this morning. I says, Alan, what is it that you do? And Alan, would you share with the folks what you do and your specialty and all?
Oh, sure. I'm like a moth to flame for high pressure, high tech situations. So I help folks like NASA, the Navy, and R&D development, and folks like Oracle or any of those high tech orgs. That's where I draw into. I like the high tech, high pressure situations.
Oh, yeah. And Denzel, when he said that, guess what I said to, and folks, when he said that, guess what I said to Ellen? I said, you never have to worry about me applying for your job. and I mean that. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give Alan a chance to say a few closing words. Denzel, if you're still with us, cut your camera on and give you a chance to say a few closing words after Alan, and then we will close the show. Alan, would you be kind enough to go first, sir?
Thank you. Sure, I'll just repeat one thing is really, I think we all really should focus on doing good in the world. And that's really being generous with our heart and our soul and our ideas.
Thank you, sir. And Denzel, be sure and tell people again how they can find you on YouTube and anything else you'd like to share with us, please.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching this. And you can find me on YouTube just by tapping my name, Denzel Cabaselli. And also on Instagram, if you want, I will post videos there. It's Denzel Cabaselli, still in one word. And thank you so much again for watching this. And remember, you are God's masterpiece. And go in the world, be great, and be successful.
Well, thank you so much. I tell you right now, we've had two wonderful speakers today, two powerful messages. And, please share both of these messages with others that you know of that could really benefit from them. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in today. And as I like to say before I close the show, if it's your birthday today, be sure and have a very, very happy birthday. And remember, on your special day, remember, now this is official because I voted on it and I was unanimous in that vote. All birthday cakes and all of your special desserts that you love, they are health food. So enjoy yourself today, okay? And have a good one. Thank you so much. Everybody wave goodbye. And we'll see you next time on the messages of inspiration, hope, and support. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.